Welcome to the best caravan setup guide for patch 1.1.4. I've collected 30 hours of data to share with you to help you make the most profit. Please listen to this information once, as many questions can be answered from here. There are no video for patches 1.1 through 1.1.3 as the economy was off, but the economy returned to normal for 1.1.4 and the results are amazing. I send out 200 caravans for a year to get the average price per day. I feel 200 is more than enough to get a decent idea how much profit you can make. However, results do vary greatly, but I hope the average can help you out. There are a couple things I did not include, such as prosperity of starting city, taking higher tier troops, and spreading them out instead of just one city, as there wasn't really any big difference in the profits that mattered. The one area I will talk about is Aserai party leaders. I will go into the numbers, and they do appear to give slightly better results, but the numbers fluctuated more than any other set of numbers, so I can't say 100% sure that it makes a huge difference, but it does seem to make a difference. I would say not enough to run out and grab them as they are needed. I will show you data from time progression, how much they make throughout the years, skills, how the three major skills affect profits when used, and finally, survivability. As the game progresses, how often caravans get captured. I will run through each one and give you the information you need to make great profit. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope my 30 hours of testing pay off, as these take a long time to do. Our first test is progression. I sent out caravans with leaders who had 0 skill in everything for 30 days to get established. Then I let them run for one entire year and averaged how much they would make each day. And that's where you're going to hear per caravan per day. From day 100, they averaged 214 profit per caravan per day. At day 200, when the economy is stabilizing, they made 267 per day. At day 500, when the economy is totally stable, 316 per day. At day 750, when inflation starts to kick in, 396 per day. And finally, day 1000, when inflation is in full effect, they made 466 per caravan per day. As you can see, the longer the game runs, the more you're going to make. As stated, I also tested Aserai leaders, and on day 200, they made 286 per day, which is only 7% more. They did make more, but they had the widest ranges of average numbers of any test. So I think they work, but not anything to run out and say, I must go get them. For the next set of tests, we will use the 200-day test as our test number, which they made 267 per day. I sent out caravans again like before, but this time I gave them all 100 riding, and they made 273 per day. Not much, considering I took skills to help. I then sent out caravans with only 100 scouting, and they made 269 per day. Once again, virtually no difference, even with 2 great perks in scouting to help them move faster. Next, we test trade. I sent out caravan leaders with 100 trade, and they made 340 per day, a massive increase over the 267 per day that they made with no skill. Next, I sent them out with 200 trade, and they made 359 per day. And then I sent them out with 300 trade and they made 371 per day. So past 100 didn't seem to get a massive increase. And I think 100 is going to be the sweet spot to get. My suggestion would be to get a caravan leader that has 100 trade, 75 riding for the 75 riding perk. Either one is decent. I prefer deeper sacks. And finally, 50 scouting for the first 2 movement perks. Let me state that I personally still feel that caravans are not great with scouting, and getting high scouting doesn't make a big difference as caravans don't do a good job avoiding others, as you will see in our next test. Finally, we will test survivability. I sent out 200 caravans for 2 years, which is the number Tailworld says is the average a caravan should last for. If they get captured, I don't send them back out. I just want to know how many survive. At day 100, 97% survived the 2 years. At day 200, 95% survived. At day 500, 94%. At day 750, 94%. And finally, at day 150, 95% survived. There's always massive RNG, but survivability rates are really good. I'm going to finish this off with the last 2 key points. I took the 200-day survivability at 95%. I sent out caravans with 300 scouting on the leaders and 96% survived. That is a 1% increase with 300 scouting, which is not much at all. And I do once again say that scouting is not as important as people believe. Lastly, being at war is terrible for caravans. Even if you're in a kingdom not at war, most likely you're going to be at war with minor clans and more than one, and they are the bane of the existence of caravans. I mention this often, and it's a huge risk. So I sent out 200 caravans on day 200 while we were at war with one kingdom and 2 minor clans, and only 52% survived. So let me say once again, war is not meant for caravans, and I never recommend doing it unless you have the money to afford it and or you're doing it for the renown gain from the steward perk. I hope this helps you out, and if you have any questions, please write them down below or hit my Discord, and I will be more than happy to elaborate. Until 1.2, take care, and thanks for watching.